Welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I am working on Tease the Scrapbook Way and Scraptember. Tease the Scrapbook Way is hosted by Christine Harden over on her channel Scrap and Harden. She gives us a prompt each month to help us use some of our branding strips. Now I don't save every strip that I cut, but I save certain manufacturers. These are Hip Kit, and I save those. I save 49 in Market, and I save Vicky Bouton ones, and some of the other American Crafts ones as well. What I have on my desk today is, well, hello everybody, that's Jasper, is a very old Hip Kit. This is before they went completely exclusive, so the embellishments in this kit are from Pink Fresh Studios Chrysanthemum. I have all of those embellishments. I have 2 pieces of paper, and I have my photo. I also have some branding strips sitting here underneath my cat. And our prompt for branding strips this month is to use them to write your journaling on. And then the Scraptember prompt is multi-photo. This is only 2 photos, but that's more than one, so technically multi-photo. That's what we're going to go with, though. So I'm going to pause. We're going to get started. I'm going to remove Kitty from my desk. I'll be right back. So he was highly offended that I removed him from my desk, but, you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to take the branding strip off of this pattern paper, but I'm doing it at 1/4 of an inch at a time because those are the branding, or that is the branding strip that I'm going to use to do the journaling for the Strip Tease prompt. Trimming down those photos just a tad. And now you're going to get to see me do all kinds of fun mistakes here, and I'm going to leave them in because, you know, we all need to see when others do mistakes. I'm using this tearing ruler. This tearing ruler came from Some Assemblage Required. I really like that ruler. And I tend to use the larger side more often than I use the smaller side. And I don't know if you saw, I had a little trouble where I had cut out the circle for that, or on that piece of pattern paper. So here's where I go off the rails a little bit and I make my first mistake. I put my adhesive on the wrong place. It should go on the other side, but I put it on this side. So I will have to fix that here in a second. So here I am pulling off the backing from that adhesive, and I get it off perfectly, which is kind of funny because I usually struggle with that adhesive. And this is where I go, oh, this is not what I wanted. I wanted this to go under like this. Oops. So I will go ahead and I'm going to flip it over. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. I know. Crazy girl. So I'm going to tear off the adhesive and we're going to start again. And this time I'll get it correct, but it just cracks me up that I made this type of mistake when I knew what I was going for in my layout, but I didn't quite get it on there correctly. So here's the adhesive. Don't you love my little adhesive dispenser? I got that from Etsy. It's a great little dispenser for that double-sided tape. So you might be wondering what on earth I'm doing. I'm trying to build a 12 by 12 layout or background here out of strips of paper. I'm using my magnets to do that, and then I realized that because I tore off some of it, I don't have enough paper to make a full 12 by 12. So I tear another piece from the green paper, and this time I'm turning it over and I'm using that multicolored dot. And I actually really like how that turns out because it brings in all of the colors from the chrysanthemum embellishments that I will be putting on this layout.
So I am putting a little bit more of that double-sided adhesive right there in the middle. I have my layout set up on my glass studio mat at the 12-inch mark. And now I'm just going to lay down that other side. And so now I have a 12 by 12 background. It should have been easy, girls. It should have been easy. These are photos of my daughter and I at church one morning, and I really loved these photos, so I printed both of them. I'm going to pull out these, I think these are called journaling bits or something like that from Pink Fresh Studio. I really want to use a couple of these envelopes because sometimes those are really hard to use. And if I choose to use them first, they get used up quickly. I'm not matting my photos. What I am doing is using these envelopes to put layers behind my photos, and that works out really well. I found that banner, and that makes a great title. Here's another envelope, and I'm going to cover up the label that's on it. And I'm going to grab the green piece that's just slightly larger than that orange envelope, and I'm going to layer it up behind it. I'm going to grab some of the chipboard pieces. I'm going to start with that floral circle frame, and I'm going to put it on the back of the green. This is kind of like backing a cut file, and this is the way I don't back cut files usually. I don't lay a cut file down on the pattern paper and then cut around it because I don't get close enough, but because this is chipboard and it's a relatively easy cut, I'm able to do that quite well. I'm going to grab the word adore and make sure that I get that banner title on there, and then I have these chipboard flares. Going to grab a couple of those and stick one on the left side, and that one will actually end up on the bottom right of the circle. I'm going to add a third one up there on that other envelope. You will note that I am using my magnets to hold down things, and I'm digging through the ephemera pack now. I love that floral wreath. And there's a couple other floral bits in here that I'm going to grab. I'm digging through, kind of trying to find all of the things that I might want to use. Another floral bit. And I think I actually end up using almost all of the flowers from this pack on here. I want to say that I might actually have the stamp set that matches this Pink Fresh Studios collection. And if I do, it is the floral stamps, stencil, and dies to cut them out. And I have all of their ink, so I could recreate all of those floral bits if I really need to for another layout. Checking the cardstock stickers for another piece to put on here. But you know, I'm fairly happy with what I have on here so far. I'm going to cut down this branding strip. Like I said, I'm only going to be using 1/4 of an inch, which is why when I took it off that pattern paper, I made sure I cut 1/4 inch at a time. I did save that other piece, so maybe I can journal again.
All right, I got my layout completely finished. This was a pretty quick layout. I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. I also love that I was able to use some of an older Hip Kit Club kit. I believe this is May 2023 that I've got here on my desktop. These photos look really good with these colors, and I am pleased that I was able to do the branding strip prompt. There's my journaling. I've got the multi-photo prompt for Scraptember. I did use some foam adhesive underneath some of the things to pop them up, which creates some depth here, and I love the visual interest that foam adhesive creates. If you are new here, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Please click that button down below. There's a bell. If you click that, YouTube will notify you when I put out new content. The goal is 3 to 4 videos per week. I sometimes do more, sometimes I do less. Just depends on what my life around me looks like. Thank you for being here. Make sure that you check out that description box below for the playlists for both of these hops. Get yourself something warm or cool if it's still hot in your neck of the woods. to drink and kick back and relax and enjoy the inspiration that you will receive on these hops. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Bye.